The Cavalry G2 Helicopter, which is made in France. About 3-4 months old now, so brand new, and it's got higher inertia rotor system in the blades. So this is what some people are trying out. You know, you could fly the 22 and then you could fly this one. You could almost decide, or just make a mix of them both. So you have the Aspen, the GPS, the Garmin, and then the main engine screen right there. And then you've got the enclosed tail rotor, which is the fenestration. Okay, so basically we'll be in this helicopter today. Okay. And I'll keep the doors on because it's a little chilly. So this is a Lycoming 360 engine, creating 131 horsepower for 5 minutes, and then 124 horsepower for max continuous. Cruise speed is about 75 knots with both of us, and of course you could fly for about 2.5 hours. So you're looking potentially at 200 miles, although I wouldn't push it to 200. We like our fun colors, you know, make aviation fun while you're learning. Sure. Yeah, so this will be our ship today. And I'll take you through the start, I'll show you the helicopter. You already know how to talk on the radio. I'll just handle the radios. Sure. That will allow you to just enjoy the machine and get used to the machine. But basically, helicopters come with anything between 2 to 8 rotors. The system here makes it less expensive because each rotor blade costs, you know, thousands of dollars. The R22. This is the fan. It sucks the air in, blows it over the engine, the oil cooler, and that's how it keeps it cold. Okay. Once you start the engine, you engage the clutch. The belts tighten right here, and then that moves the whole rotor system. So if you want to come around this side, you've got your headset, like I said. Okay. You want to jump in right here.
Right, so can you hear me okay?
I can.
All right. If everything's plugged in, the GoPro should be able to hear us. So hi everybody, here we are in the R. What we're doing is we've just started the helicopter and verified the oil pressure is good, engage the clutch, then engage the alternator. The cockpit is just the same as you would expect in any aviation cockpit. The altimeter here, the vertical speed indicator, the RPM on our right. Okay, so we're still waiting for the engine to warm up. We're going to verify on our checklist that we're going everything correctly. We're looking, we're listening, and we're seeing to make sure that the magnetos are working, that everything's okay. Now we're going to roll into full power. As I roll into full power, a little bit of back pressure on the throttle to helicopter 1 Sierra Hotel, ACI East for southeast departure.
Second direction of departure.
Southeast, we have Alpha, we're ready. Helicopter 1 Sierra Hotel.
Hotel taxi Alpha, beam ACI, clear for takeoff, left turn southeast, when approved. It is.
Green doors are closed, clear above.
10 o'clock on a mile.
Now I'm going to slowly raise the collective. While I raise the collective, that increases the pitch of the main rotor blades, and we're just going to taxi out. This is the best bit. I absolutely love it. So we just taxi out. We want to keep it very smooth, straight, and professional while we come out here. Clear right.
Just past Juliet on the runway.
Okay, we turn into the wind.
Like to depart to.
And now we're going to start our takeoff, and off we go.
After I do this approach. You can plan on a left.
Here we are. Go through effective translational lift, which is the free lift obtained by the forward motion of the air. As we continue forward, we'll get to 45 knots. At 45 knots, we're going to go ahead and pitch it up. So here we are. Raise the collective decline power, right pedal.
We have the traffic syncing. We get an early crossing. Look up 76 Foxtrot, early left crossing approved. Approved, 76 Foxtrot.
And making our left turn up to
20 left.
Fashion Island. Trim transponder. 1757. And we're going to continue our climb. Now we're airborne in Southern California, Newport Beach, which you're familiar with.
Full stop taxi back for 143 on Wayland.
So, the limitation on this helicopter, you're allowed to fly up to 14,000 feet. Now, for helicopters, it's our responsibility as a helicopter pilot to avoid the flow of fixed-wing traffic. So we do that by flying lower and closer to the airport in a traffic pattern, And when we're cruising around Los Angeles, we want to stay out of the fixed wing traffic, which would be around as low as 1,000 up to 3,000. So we would fly at a helicopter usually between 500 feet above the ground to 1,000 feet above these, different concerns. We must make sure that we respect the neighbors. We be careful because of the drones, and so typically we want to fly a little closer to the 1,000 feet nowadays above the ground. Yeah, so right now we're cruising above Fashion Island here in Newport Beach. We are 700 feet MSL, which is above mean sea level, above the ground. And we're cruising, two guys, me and you, with 60-70% fuel.
Over the freeway,
and we seem to be cruising nicely at 90 miles per hour, so 80 knots. Sierra Hotel, clearing southeast here. So I'm going to just show you some cool stuff that we can do. So legally, a helicopter can go as slow as you like, as long as you don't cause damage to personal property. That's in the file. In general, I'm going to show you right now some of the things the helicopter can do. Slow flight, 2, low flight, 3, tight turns. And when we get back into the airport and finish, we'll show you like an auto rotation where we descend safely. Okay, look at this beautiful view. So,
unbelievable.
Slow down. We're using aft cyclic to pitch the nose up. Okay. That allows us to slow down. Then as we get so slow and we can no longer generate lift from the forward motion, we're going to raise the collective, which increases the pitch. Here. So now we're at 20 knots. So now you'll see we're almost in a hover. The visibility, what I like about the visibility of the helicopter versus the plane is in the plane we sit down and in, right? And the cockpit panel is kind of up here. And you look out over the top, and if you're a high wing, you can only look down, and if you're a low wing, you can only look up.
Correct.
But in the helicopter, you can look almost 360 degrees. Cockpit, we just check our gauges, make sure they're all green, oil temperature, oil pressure, cylinder head temperature. We want to make sure you set your power. Say right now we're at 19 inches of manifold pressure. So once you set your power right here, you can use your left hand to do other things in the cockpit if you had a mounted GPS. If you're flying with a passenger and you're the pilot, this control comes out, these controls come out, and this comes out.
Gotcha.
So the pilot actually sits in your seat.
Okay.
So here we are in Laguna Beach, and you can see from takeoff to right now, it only took 14 minutes.
This is a whole new experience versus fixing. Yeah. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's like, wow, everything we wanted to do, why we went and got a pilot's license,
exactly.
Right? But in reality, this is really flying. Right?
Exactly. I love flying the plane, but I'll tell you what, the helicopter is just an adventure down there. And we can see in their backyards.
That's fantastic.
There's Laguna Beach High School out to your right. You see Catalina in the distance. The helicopter is cool, even though it can get you from A to B like the same place. It'll take you longer, but you can kind of do more stuff on the way. This is 200 feet above the ocean. We are within a gliding distance of the coast, which is a legal requirement. We teach you what your personal limitations are, what the legal limitations are. To go from A to B, they say that a helicopter is quickest within about 200 miles. Challenging. So I did that first, and then I did the plane. And believe it or not, it ended up less expensive doing helicopter. So we'll cruise up to Huntington Beach now, and I can show you how I'm sat on the controls, and I can talk you through some stuff. So this hinge in the Robinson R22 doesn't do anything. Look, it doesn't do anything. Okay. This is just whether I have controls or you have to get in and out of the helicopter with ease.
That makes sense to me now, because I was looking at the stick and I go, okay, so that's why you're holding it dead center. You're treating that as if it's a center stick.
Yes.
You don't care what this looks like.
No.
I got you.
I can just I can hold it right here and turn the helicopter to the left. So off we go. Turning it to the left. We can in a helicopter we can turn pretty, a lot. Now I can turn back to the right. So the helicopter is very maneuverable, left and right.
Doesn't take much.
Doesn't take
much at all.
Width of a finger will throw it that much off.
No.
Is that significant? That's a width of a finger. Back to the other neutral and back to the other side. And I always tell people when you're holding the cyclic, pretend you're holding an uncooked egg. You don't want a mess. Eyes up. We're going to change the pitch with the cyclic. So eyes up. Bring it back. You feel heavy in your seat. There's the heavy G. We're bringing it up. That's the change in pitch attitude, right? Rise up, pitch it forward.
46 runway 2 right, a kilo clear for takeoff. Scan that early right turn out, please.
Very good.
And now we're back to 600 feet, 75. We've shown you a lot of that stuff. Now what we'll do is we'll continue up to Seal Beach a little bit, and we'll have you come on the control on your leg,
okay.
and you'll just watch the cable.
Okay.
And this will just sit right there. Just hold it stable, keep your eyes up, and I'm going to let go. Boom. Now you're flying.
Okay.
Okay. You already have the skill set of being a pilot, which basically means you're used to the sensitivity of the controls. And just move your right hand. Just slide your fingers, not your hand, just your fingers to the right a little bit.
Okay.
And you'll turn the helicopter. Oh man. Christopher, if you're going to be like this, you're going to get it down pretty gosh darn quick. That's nice.
Wow.
And now go left. So just slide it to the left. The objective is to keep the compass on the horizon, so it doesn't go down or up. It just keeps it on the horizon. You slide it across. Obviously, when you turn, you lose lift, and that's where you could use your left hand here, and you could raise the collective up a little. Nice job. Now, raise the collective a little bit.
Okay, coming up.
Coming up. And now you'll see the nose come up a little bit, which means you need a little bit of forward cycling. 360-degree turn to the right. Let's go ahead and turn to the right.
Okay, we look good to the right?
We look good to the right.
Okay, I'm going to make a gradual turn to the right.
Gradual turn. We'll keep it turning. I'm going to talk to Los Alamitos. Los Al helicopter 10 Hotel, maneuvering southeast corner of your airspace at the coast, 500 below.
Echo to Bravo.
Beautiful.
Approved. Good day. Echo Bravo.
Just keep coming around. Now, you see all the oil rigs out there?
Yes.
They all have helipads, every single one. Nice job.
3023, transition.
Nice job. Okay, so roll out, keep it straight. Now let's do a 360-degree turn to the left. Love it. Let's do that turn.
There's a Cessna traffic ahead and 2.
And that's good. So now you could raise the collective just a little bit.
Go ahead, grab the control.
Okay, my control.
I'm going to use the camera.
Okay.
Bring it up. I got the idea. It's beautiful.
Good.
Unbelievable. So the helicopter itself, guys, is like super, well, it's not super easy. What I mean by that is you got really light on the controls. And when you first grab the controls, being a pilot myself, I found myself kind of squeezing things just a little bit, and your legs tightening up to kind of think you have to mess with the rudders. But the forward momentum, just relax, get the airplane stable, just glance at your instruments, and so your instructors that you have, what's the minimum time of an instructor typically that comes and works for you?
Typically, flight instructors, per the federal aviation regulations, have to have 200 flight hours to teach. Our average hours of our flight instructors now, if you don't include my heavy amount of hours, is probably around 800. We have some senior guys with 1,500 hours, and they love Newport Beach, they love California, so they're hanging around building their hours and teaching and meeting some at 105 miles an hour, almost 90 knots. The R-22 is a very fun, very useful to get from A to B. Useful. So we rent our helicopters. Once you get your license, you can rent the helicopter the very next day. You to be the pilot and to take 3 guests. So you know, your friend, and then another couple or whatever. Otherwise, what's the point, right? What's the point of getting your license if you can't do anything with it? So we wanted to arrange people to do that. To 500 feet AGL and come in tight and close to the airport, where we're going to enter the left downwind. Plexus is coming up right below us on your right. You'll see it says Google on the basketball court. That's the Google, your mini Googleplex. There's our building with the blue roof. Okay, now we're going to continue the downwind. The helicopter spinning up down there, the black one down on the ramp. See how busy the ramp is? One Sierra Hotel downwind. 41st as of 2016, busiest airport in America. There are 19,656 airports in America. The runway is 1 mile long, and the other runway is half a mile long. And I'm going to show you an auto rotation right now. This is where we descend using the... See, right now our potential energy is fuel. That's what's keeping us up in the air. Altitude and airspeed. So we're going to cut the engine in a minute, and then it will be altitude and airspeed, and I'm going to show you an auto rotation. Wind check. Okay.
5.
3, 2, 1. We lower the collective, roll off the throttle, half cyclic, down we come. Now I can maneuver the helicopter to the left.
and for right.
And to the right.
Negative on that traffic, we're looking.
It's very maneuverable. This is all with no power.
Right 15 degrees.
Now 65 knots, RPM looks good. We can come right into our spot where we intended to land, right here on the T. Bring your power in, level, and boom, right here.
Liner number 2 following the Cessna traffic.
Wow. There's the tower.
Choose your left,
There's our spot.
2.5 mile final for the parallel. KVFR below 3,000 sail.
Off we go.
1,000.
So we'll come around.
16 Whiskey, contact SoCal departure. See you. Come on, SoCal, see you. Good mark.
Aviation is still the safest method of transportation in the world. Most accidents occur because of pilot error. So that's why at a flight school, with our 100% safety record on maintenance, so here we are. This is called an air taxi, basically where you go from point A to point B over the airport, low and slow. Knots 25 feet, just cruising over the ground. And we don't need to worry about taxiways. We're going to go right over the grass.
You're not at signal peak yet. You got about 3 miles to go.
So here we are.
8 Quebec Bravo, you're number 2.
Stop right here where we just do a rapid deceleration. Aft cyclic. Heading with the pedals. Collective. Down we come. Now, because this helicopter is so small, it doesn't have air conditioning. So now it's just a matter of us not pointing into the sun if we want to try and stay as cool as possible, right? See here in a hover, I'll just show you this and then we'll taxi back for cool down. Is in a helicopter, in a hover, you use your feet to turn the helicopter all the way around. So here we are. We're going to do a nice slow turn, 360 degrees away. You can also do this at 1,000 feet in the air. So you can have a 360 degree panoramic view by just hovering and turning the aircraft all the way around. You can lower the collective and land.
Absolutely amazing.
And now we can pick it back up again, slide to the left. This is what I was talking about. It doesn't matter how strong the wind is, you can fly, you can left. And now I can go back to the right.
Yeah, traffic for the parallel runway inside will maintain visual separation. Flying 18 OC approved.
Now ready for the grand finale.
Ready.
Now we can just fly straight backwards.
Look at that.
So now you can see our shadow.
I sure do.
Now we're just flying straight backwards. Completely fine. And then we stop, and then we can go back over here. You can even continue flying over the ground, but turn the helicopter. So this is how maneuverable. This is how maneuverable the machine is.
Wow. I guess you have to have a couple hours under your belt to do that, right, Mike?
You know,
just a few.
Yeah, just 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
That was really
I'm gonna
great.
switch over to ground. Just taxi over here, nice and slow.
Ground southwest 16.
Because we're gonna land over here and then cool down. So here we come. Taxi over. When you're inside, the visibility looking out, you just forget what's behind you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what helicopter you're in, the visibility is just amazing. The stability and the noise. You know?
Monitor tower 126.
There we are coming in.
468, good day, 1562.
Down is basically going to be idling the helicopter at 75%.
Okay.
It's on the cool down, so it's been 30 seconds. So we're going to be 2 minutes on the cool down. So we just monitor that, and then we check our temperature. Wait 2 to 3 minutes. Clutch switch mixture, which is right here, and that's a wrap. I already switched off the radio and the transponder. So the shutdown is 8 items, and that's our day at the office.
There you go, guys.
Right.
Revolution Aviation again. Revolution Aviation at John Wayne Airport. I tell you, it was an absolute blast. I don't care. Crush your cans. Do what you got to do. But come out here. But let me warn you. If you come out, you're going to get addicted.
Yeah.
You're going to have